Let me tell you what I wouldn't be doing. Letting some girl strapped up down in a pit out.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
Another week, another episode of Made in Abyss. And every single episode, you just keep finding more and more and more out. You already got the feeling that this village, there was something about it that just wasn't, it felt off.
Oh, God.
And every episode,
Too perfect, I
you
guess?
feel this, like, sense that they have to get out of there.
Yeah, it's so fair in this place that you're just marked for death.
We found out through a commenter in our last video, as well
Thank
as
you.
just going back to watch them again just to get a better understanding. The three sages of this village, we know who they are. Belaf is the centipede.
Slithery serpent, man.
Wazukan is the entity that was eating with Rico in the
He was
restaurant.
not enjoying the testicles she was. He
And-
had something else. And Vuko.
And Vuko.
Which was
Thank
the
you.
tethered up young lady that was in the pit that just was tied up there and needed to be released with a simple phrase or feeling, a thought, I guess. How to get her
Rico
out.
was so strong with what she wants that all she had to do, I believe, was just take the tentacles off of
just think it.
off of her, and all of a sudden it lifted the curse somehow that she couldn't do on her own.
And she talked about, so she asked a great question, are you a bad person?
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's probably a good idea to ask, because most likely.
Vuko reminds me of someone who's extremely self-deprecating. So she would call herself a bad person,
Right.
but I don't believe
you
that
think she was-
it means that she is
Okay.
actually a bad person. I think it means that she might have tried to, because when Belaf told her that her purpose was in the darkness, she was meant to find light in the darkness. He said this to her in episode 1.
Okay.
So I think maybe she interpreted his words
Like
and
more-
tried to overstep somehow.
More literal?
In the creation of the
Okay.
village, and then that was something that she didn't understand was a bridge too far. If that's the reality, I would imagine, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
And but so this episode was mainly because we know where Nanachi is
Yeah.
paired back with Midi.
And we'll get into
And-
that too,
but yeah,
because
that's
that is
another
like
big. I
crazy.
think that was a big part.
It was
I
a big
think.
part, yeah.
And then you had Reg, who is kind of figuring out what he is and what,
Yep.
I guess obviously we didn't learn much, but we're finding out like what his purpose is.
So when that dragon chased him, he got saved by an interceptor who has the same arm as him.
Yep.
And the interceptor can speak the same language Reg can speak, and he was explaining to him that interceptors are placed on each level of the abyss. They can't communicate with each other, or they haven't been able to for a long time.
Yeah.
So the interceptor thinks that he might be related to Reg.
But knows nothing of where they came from.
That's right.
I feel like he was kind of a base level model. Like you don't
A
tell
Gen
all
1?
you don't tell all
Yeah.
your secrets to it. I was made. Well, he's big. He's been lifting for years. So and Reg is something happened to him with Fubuta and not knowing like what's going on. I'd like to know where she is. Is Reg going to get out of this area? Because the interceptor told him get out.
Yeah, you guys have to leave.
Sounds like a plan.
That just gets in line with what we were feeling about the village. Like, there's something
Right.
going on in the village that just doesn't make sense.
You
It's
had
just
the chef that, or the one that was with Rico.
the spicy testicles.
Yeah, which down there you get what you get.
Based upon the green shit they ate the first time they got there, I'll take them spicy testicles too.
But he said he also wanted a human child.
Yeah.
So it seems like everybody wants a human child, and we see that later with Belaf and the whole Nanachi Midi situation and where they are.
Yeah.
You see that true value. And
So-
Rico knows.
So this is my interpretation of what happened with Midi. So when Bondrewd came down and negotiated things with Belaf,
They fell in love with Midi.
yes, and Bondrewd would not give Midi up because Midi is an immortal. So Belaf wanted to consume her over and over,
Right.
Because that's what he wants.
Which
That's
you
what he
saw that
likes.
kind of with his
That's
tentacle
desire.
hookups. Right.
And Bondrewd wouldn't. So he traded half of his innards, all of his arms.
Oh, yeah, he has like
in
over
order to
20
make
arms.
a reincarnation, or I should say a duplicate of Midi, including her soul. So Midi that was killed by Reg is still gone.
Right, but this is Midi.
This is still Midi.
Right.
So there have been two. Nanachi wanted to save Midi because
That's a life of
was
torture,
torturing
I
her
think.
again, this poor soul.
Right. And all Nanachi's wanted to do was save her.
Nanachi had given up her soul in order to save Middy's, to where they could stay there happy, as far as Belaf
they're
says.
in like some kind of dream state,
like
I would say. Yeah, but that's not where we need our furry little friend.
And Rico wants them back, and Belaf, surprise, surprise, wants her body. And she negotiates with him and says, I'll give you some of my hair, my fingernail clippings, and all my equipment.
Which in my head, I thought that was a piss poor offer, because I wouldn't do that. I get your stuff that you're just trimming off your body. No. Pay up.
He wants either 2 legs, 2 eyes, and half of her innards.
Now, what would you give?
My legs.
And what would you guys give?
They actually, fuck off. There's got to be another way we could figure this out.
Let's reel this back a little bit. You want how about look, I'll sacrifice a few toes, and you can have a couple fingers.
I'll give you 1 finger, 1 toe, all my hair.
And you can keep Mitty. Right? We just need Nanachi.
No. We got to get Mitty out of here. We got to take care of this Mitty too. Reg's going to do another one of his blasts and take care of this Mitty as well.
You want to end it just as well, but now that Nanachi's got
her out
back.
of her suffering. Yeah.
Okay.
But get Nanachi back. So,
and again, put him through or her through that whole new thing of watching his greatest thing that he would trade everything for die yet again.
Yeah. Every episode is just like, I
got very little answers here.
Adventure. It felt like this was like the puzzle pieces coming together for me a little bit.
Oh no, I thought just more kept opening. Another door just popped open. It's like, well, I guess we'll walk in there.
Well, we know all the 3 sages.
Yep.
Now we're introduced to them. They have actually had meaningful dialogue. Maybe Wazukan hasn't had too much, but I assume in the next episode he will.
Right.
We're going to get next episode into Belaf's past, why they created the village, why they reference it as hell. The Interceptor referenced it basically as hell.
Because they can't get out. My assumption is that the initial humans, which we believe are the sages, created this town, which is the manifestation of like sacrifices and death that's happened in the abyss.
Equilibrium.
Right, and then this is what generates, just not by them. They didn't necessarily create it. I think they were just there with the energies, because obviously things existed there before the founding party got there. Right, those things that got ate by that dragon.
Yeah.
So I think
so. There was an answer. We found out that those things were interceptors that were. We don't know why the interceptors.
Yeah, why?
Were
who put them there? What are they doing?
Exactly.
So there's great. We got one answer, and then here 8 more questions. Now, and I don't worry.
Wait to find out.
I'm excited that this show I think is getting better with each thing, because the story is finally able to take hold of things, because we're in one area, we're not traveling. Now we're in the thick of it, because this is where we're going to get the answers for everything.
And I like this episode again because Reg was actually the one doing the exploration and finding out a little bit more about the layer itself.
And I'm least interested in his story. Out of the 3, I'm least interested.
I don't have a story that I'm not interested in.
He's in a spot that not everyone can go to, which I guess is a good thing, but I think I'm just ready for my 3 to be back together.
Well, yeah,
and figure this place out.
It might take the rest of the season, though.
I think it will.
It's going to take a while.
Which I'm good with that, because each episode, whether, you do have to split 22 minutes into 3 sections, because you have 3. Yeah. Good thing is they put Nanachi on a pause. So you have Rico and Reg who are supporting this, and we're going to find out those secrets in those stories.
Yeah, so we have to wait another 7 days for another episode. Sorry, this was a little bit late. We had vacation this week, so we'd like to get the videos out sooner, but bear with us.
Summertime.
Yeah. As always, if you guys like what we're doing around here, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next week for next episode of Season 2 Made in Abyss. See ya.